Okay, so I'm going to explain what the RPE scale is, okay? So the RPE scale stands for rate of perceived exertion. And for this program, you're going to have to understand what all of this means in order to do your program properly, right? So basically, this is going to tell you how much weight you should be lifting per movement, all right? And it runs from a scale of 1 to 10, and you will understand these numbers here in a second and what that actually means. But the question you want to ask yourself is, at this rep/set scheme, I can lift this much weight at this RPE. And just make sure that you understand the difference between reps and RPE. So just make sure that you read your program properly, all right? So let's say for your program, you have dumbbell squats. I can't put on there, you have to perform 2 working sets of 10 reps of dumbbell squats with 60 pounds. And the reason why I can't do that is because I'm not standing there next to you. I don't know your history unless I've been working with you closely. And also too, if this is a program that is going out to multiple people, so you have to understand how much weight you can lift, right? Everyone's body's different, everyone's strength is different, everyone's training level is different, and that is why we are using the RPE scale for this program, is so that you can choose the weights wisely, okay? If you had never worked out before and I said, do 60-pound squats, you'd be like, what? That's way too much, okay? So maybe instead of 60 pounds, you use 10 pounds and then you work your way up to 15 and so on and so forth. But now let's understand what each of these numbers mean, because you are gonna have to understand this. So let's say, and I'm gonna write this down too, we're gonna use the same example, the squats example. So we have squats. All right, my handwriting is gonna look a little funky. We have squats, and I say we'll keep the same one, 2 working sets, so work 2 sets, and I say 10 reps, okay? And we are using a dumbbell, so I'm gonna write DB, okay? All right, and then I said, I want you to complete this at an RPE of 8. So RPE 8, okay? I know it looks a little wonky there. All right, so what would that mean? Okay, so the scale is from 1 to 10. All right, 10 is going to be the hardest, and what 10 RPE means is 10, you would not be able to perform 1 more rep. So after 1 set of 10 reps, you're gonna choose a weight that you would not have been able to do 11 reps with, okay? So for example, for me, this is not the RPE we're using for this example, but for me, I probably could not do a 80-pound goblet squat for 11 reps, right? So I could probably do it for 10. That last one would be such a struggle. And the next one, I know that if I went down, I probably wouldn't be able to get back up. If for this program, it said RPE 10, that's how I would treat that movement. That's how I would know to pick the 80-pound weight. I wouldn't pick a 40-pound weight, because if I had the 40-pound weight, I could probably do those all day, right? And it would be a really low RPE, right? Because I could do so many reps after what was assigned and I wouldn't get tired. All right, so that is what 10 means. So basically think of RPE of 10 as like to failure. And just so you understand, for this program, you do not have anything at an RPE of 10. 10 is very useful, and it's very useful for people who are into powerlifting. People who are into powerlifting love the RPE scale in general. But moving on, so now what would an RPE of 9 mean? So at 9, you would only be able to perform 1 more rep. So that means after 10 reps at that weight, the RPE of 9, right? I have my 75-pound dumbbell. I would only be able to perform 1 more rep at that weight. So that means I'm doing my set, I get to 10, and I know that I could probably do 1 more, but I'm gonna conserve those reps, right? Gonna keep some energy in the tank. So that one would be an RPE of 9, okay? And now we're gonna go to 8, which is our example here. At an RPE of 8, I would only be able to perform 2 more reps. Now, as we said, at 80 pounds, that would be my till failure. At 75 pounds, I would have 1 more rep in the tank. And at 8, I probably could lift a good 70, you might not be able to see this, to 75 pounds, right? This is it's a perceived exertion, okay? So I would choose a 70 to 75 pound dumbbell. And even though my 8 and 9, 75 is the same for those two examples, I know that if I use 75 pounds or 70 pounds, that I would be able to perform 2 more reps after I completed 10 reps. Okay? Is it all starting to make sense? I hope so, because we're getting towards the bottom here. All right, so now we completed this example. So now we're at an RPE of 7, and this would mean that I'd be able to perform 3 more reps after my 10 reps, but I'm not going to actually perform them, right? I'm not going to actually perform them. I'm going to stop it at 10, conserve some energy, keep some reps in the tank, and, continue to rest in between my sets because I have 2 working sets, right? And then 6 would be I'd be able to perform 4 more reps. So as you can see, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and once we get between the RPE of 5 down all the way to 1, this pattern continues. At 5, I'm able to perform 5 more reps, 4, I'm able to perform 6 more reps, but these ones become so insignificant that I choose not to put them in programs, right? Between 1 through 5, now you're picking a weight that you could probably do way too many reps with, and you're not challenging. It's not going to be a challenge for you, right? If I were to now say I had the RPE of 8, my 2 sets of working squats for 10 reps, and I decided on that day to pick a 25-pound dumbbell, well, that's probably a really low RPE. I mean, I wouldn't even be able to understand how many reps I could possibly do after that. I'd probably go into the negatives here. So that weight would be insignificant, and I wouldn't choose a weight for that in a program like this, okay? So hopefully now you understand what the RPE scale means.